Okay, we got some Discourse to go over in today's video. Let me just say, spoilers ahead, but I mean, the game's been out for like 3 weeks at this point. If you're still surfing for Spider-Man videos online, well, then it's on you if you get spoiled. But by the off chance, if you've avoided all the spoilers, well, you have been warned. Okay, you guys all remember, towards the end of Marvel Spider-Man 2, there's a nice little cutscene as we're wrapping things up between Pete and MJ. Miles swoops in, he's wearing his suit, and he's like, hey, Pete, you ready to jump back into the city and get to work? And then Pete kind of stumbles and fumbles, trying to beat around the bush to say essentially that he wants to take a step back, that he wants to take a seat. And Miles was the one to say, hey, Pete, I get it, and I got all of this. Obviously, as the internet is an incredibly rational place, and people certainly don't like to strip things out of context and then think irrationally, you know, they immediately jump to the conclusion that this means we're never going to see Peter Parker again. He's going to retire. I got to hit the like button on this video. Seriously, I don't know why people were thinking that last part, but I agree with you there at least. But that's only where a fraction of some of the discourse started to roll in, because then there was an interview with the folks at Insomniac Games where they confirmed something really important for the future of the franchise. Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman were interviewed. They work at Insomniac, and Gizmodo had the article. It's going to be linked in the description box below if you want to read it in its entirety. I just want to go over this one key moment. They were asked here by IO9, you said earlier you basically knew right away that you wanted playable Venom. Does that also apply to ending this game with Miles as the main Spider-Man from now on? Brittany Morris responded saying, it always felt very natural, and I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows a great deal of evolution from Miles. At the beginning of the game, we see him struggling to figure out what he wants to do with his life. By the end, we had Miles carrying the burden of saving the city and also carrying Pete when Pete wasn't strong enough to carry himself at various points. She continues on to say here, that's what's been so cool about writing a story about two Spider-Men. They're both strong, and one of them can be strong when the other is not. By the end, Miles is more confident, and he's like, yeah, I got this. How much worse can things get after what we just went through? Oh, it can get so much worse. But nevertheless, you know, with that, it was confirmation that yes, Miles is the main Spider-Man, quote unquote, main Spider-Man from here on. And then people online just started stripping this completely of its context and saying exactly that. That's it. Miles is the main Spider-Man. No more Peter Parker. Oh my God, I have so many thoughts. Okay, let me sit down and have a chat with some of you guys out here, okay? Do you genuinely, in your heart of hearts, believe we're never gonna see Peter Parker's Spider-Man ever again? Because there are seriously some people out there that think even if there's gonna be DLC for Spider-Man 2, there's gonna be no Peter Parker, and some people are theorizing they might start off Marvel's Spider-Man 3 killing Peter Parker. I'm not even kidding. I've seen that theory online. This is just silly, in my opinion. This discourse is just random. I know some people are really grasping at straws here. Some people are dislocating their shoulders, reaching so far for something to complain about. But man, this one is the weakest argument that anyone's ever had, because I cannot wrap my head around having a train of thought that we'll never see Peter Parker Spider-Man again when his two most iconic foes are now teaming up for the third game. They believe we're gonna go into Marvel Spider-Man 3 with Norman and Otto working together, springing into action, and it's just gonna be Miles being like, I got no beef with you guys. What's going on? Miles is going to be on his Thanos like, I don't even know who you are. Why are you guys so mad at me for? But also, let's go to the DLC argument, okay? Because some people clearly weren't paying enough attention when they played through the Flame side mission. I bring that one up specifically because the leading theory right now is that if there's going to be DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2, it's probably going to have something to do with Carnage. We know Cletus Cassidy has got a symbiote in his possession, and for a lot of people, they believe that the symbiote storyline should be wrapped up within Marvel Spider-Man 2 rather than having that carry over into Spider-Man 3. And I completely agree, and I in fact believe that there's gonna be DLC for Spider-Man 2 and it's gonna have something to do with Carnage and maybe even Daredevil. But if we go to that side mission, if you guys remember, there's a phone call after you beat it where Peter has a chat with Wraith. That's where we get confirmation that one of the aliases that the Flame goes by is Cletus Cassidy, but also that he's gonna be on the run for a little bit and it's gonna take Wraith months, maybe even upwards of a year to try and find him. And Peter, in response to that, says, call me if you need any help. He essentially says something to that effect.
I'll start checking his old aliases. Archie Abel, Walter Wackman, Cletus Cassidy. but this could take months, maybe even years.
I'll be ready when you've got something.
Thanks.
So then what? You guys believe that the end of the game rolls around, he tells Miles he needs a bit of a break, and then Wraith calls him up and he's like, I don't want to help out. Sorry, you got that, all right? What's that giant raging symbiote monster? And he's red, and he's a psychopath? I'm good. I'm chilling with MJ. And then they seriously think that Spider-Man 3 is going to roll around. You know, there's going to be Norman Osborn or Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin. Doc Ock is back. They're terrorizing the city. Miles goes to Peter. He's kicking it on the couch and he's like, nah, you got it, Miles. I mean, you told me that you got this, so why do I need to come and help? Like, let's just be real, man. Can we just be real for a second, guys? Miles Morales being the main Spider-Man of the Insomniac universe doesn't mean he's the only Spider-Man. Peter Parker's still gonna be around. We know even that Silk's gonna be introduced in some way. They're probably gonna have a third playable spider hero, either in Spider-Man 3 or maybe in the future beyond that. All it means is that Peter Parker's character within the Insomniac universe wants to take a break after the insane events that were Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Let's not also forget that he gets his ass beat by the Rhino at the beginning of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Peter has been suffering canonically for 10 years as this hero. I think it makes complete sense, narratively speaking, for Peter to say, you know what, I've done a lot, I'm battered, I'm bruised, I've been through a lot emotionally and physically. I see here that Miles Morales is very capable of taking care of this city, so I'm gonna take a step back. If you need me, I'm here, but for now, Miles, you got this. He will spring back into action, guys, of course, and when he does, it's gonna be extremely triumphant. Let Insomniac continue to cook. They haven't let a majority of people at least down. And to the idiots out there that are complaining about Miles Morales being the main Spider-Man for you know what reason, well, I mean, Miles Morales is Spider-Man. You can cry about it, really. I mean, at a certain point, we're gonna have to grow up. Like, we're just gonna have to get over it, okay? This character means a lot to a lot of people. And from the very beginning, when Marvel's Spider-Man in 2018 was being marketed, they introduced the character of Miles Morales and made a point to do so to plant the seed that they were gonna do a lot with this character, and they've delivered on that. So if you were blindsided by this, if you thought that this came out of nowhere, it's because you weren't paying attention. And if you're wondering what some of the folks at Insomniac think about the reaction to all this online, well, James Stevenson posted a GIF about people jumping to conclusions, and then Brian Intar actually quote retweeted this GIF of people jumping to conclusions by saying this. So yes, you guys are jumping to conclusions. Confirmed. And okay, rant over. I still have so much to say, but I don't want to yell too much. I try not to be too negative on this channel. And weirdly enough, me being as happy as I am, me generally being positive on this channel, it makes some people so mad. But what can you do? With that being said, let me now kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you genuinely believe we're never going to see Peter Parker Spider-Man again? Or are you a rational thinking person? Sound off with your thoughts. Let's try to keep it civil. And with that being said, I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.